All right, folks, I'm so excited to be here. We have some massive announcements today, so let's get started. We know that in today's world, it's literally awash with data. Not just data from our transactional systems of record, but data from the world around us. The devices we use, the applications we build, human interactions, and so much more. All of us are dealing with this challenge. How do we translate our data into a competitive advantage? Because we recognize that in today's world, our competitive advantage comes from how we leverage data. As a result, the good news is that there's been a ton of innovation. Over the last decade, there's been a lot of exciting innovations in the data and AI space. And it seems like not a day or week goes by without a new announcement about an exciting product or technology that is now available or now improved. The bad news, however, is all of this innovation results in a wall of complexity that is facing most customers today. This slide, put together by Firstmark Venture Capital, is a great representation. Every icon on the slide is a product or open source technology available to customers. And this has created an enormous burden on customers to figure out all of this technology, acquire the expertise, wire it together, manage, and run it. In a tough environment, customers are tired of paying the integration tax. As a result, here's what we consistently hear from customers. Now, this is a real quote from a chief data officer that we work closely with, and it broadly represents the sentiment we hear from most of our customers. Please simplify. I want to be the chief data officer, not the chief integration officer. Meanwhile, we're going through a massive transition. The era of AI is upon us. This is a huge platform shift that will have profound implications on every aspect of work in general, and in particular, how we work with data. Two things come to mind. Your AI is only as good as your data, which makes it all the more important to get your data right. And now with the power of large language models such as Azure OpenAI, you can help simplify and accelerate developer productivity. That is, AI can help you make sense of the complexity. So today, we are really excited to announce Microsoft Fabric. You can think about Fabric as the data platform for the age of AI. So what exactly is Fabric? You can think of Fabric simply as Office, but for your data. Just like Office 365 has Word for document authoring, PowerPoint for presentations, Excel for spreadsheets, etc., in Microsoft Fabric, you have 7 core workloads. Each of the workloads are purpose-built for a specific persona and a specific task. The workloads include the next versions of our existing products like Data Factory, Synapse Analytics, and Power BI. And it also includes a couple of brand new products, Data Activator to help customers go from insights to action, and OneLake, which is a SaaS version of the data lake itself. You can think of OneLake as pretty much OneDrive, but for your data. All of the workloads natively store their data in OneLake, just like Word, PowerPoint, and Excel store their data in OneDrive. All of Fabric runs on an intelligent data foundation that unifies all of these workloads together into one cohesive experience, just like Office. Across Fabric, there are 4 major areas of investment. The first is a complete analytics platform that provides all of the workloads needed to go from the data lake all the way to the business user. Fabric is delivered as software as a service, where everything is automatically integrated and automatically optimized. Lots of capabilities around security and governance, so we all can sleep better at night. Second, Fabric follows a lake-centric and open architecture. We talked about OneLake as a SaaS data lake for the entire organization. OneLake not only provides storage out of the box, but also acts as a virtualization layer, bringing all your data across Azure Data Lake Gen 2, AWS S3, and Google Storage into a single unified namespace. Across Fabric, we're embracing open data formats. So if you build a data warehouse with Synapse or any of the major data warehousing products today, everyone puts the data in their own proprietary format. This not only locks customers in, but also causes data to be duplicated over and over again as data is re-ingested, which drives costs and complexity. With Fabric, Microsoft is moving to a completely open format, where the native format of all the workloads in Fabric, Synapse, Power BI, real-time analytics, is based on the completely open Parquet and Delta Lake. Fabric is open at every tier, so if you want to use all of the workloads, you get the best of Fabric. But if you want to mix and match Fabric workloads with other industry products, it works really well. Third, we want to ensure that all of the data in OneLake is natively integrated into all of Office 365, and here Power BI is that bridge. The data is integrated into Excel, into Teams, into SharePoint, into PowerPoint. That means your business users can easily put data to work because the data shows up in the tools that they use every single day. And finally, Azure OpenAI is integrated throughout all of Fabric. Each one of the workloads has a built-in Copilot that is working side by side with a developer, accelerating productivity. It's really easy to leverage generative AI on your data in a secure and compliant way, just in a couple of clicks. So I'm really excited to announce Copilot in Microsoft Fabric now in private preview. So let's take a look at a video that shows you what Copilot is all about.
Next-generation AI in Microsoft Fabric empowers you to unlock the full potential of your data. With Copilot integrated into every data experience, Microsoft Fabric lets you use natural language to bring your data to life. From integrating data to writing code to finding insights and creating reports, new transformative AI experiences work alongside you every step of the way, so you can stay focused on getting value from your data. Copilot helps turn your words into data flows and data pipelines, so you can intelligently integrate data from anywhere. When writing code, Copilot automatically suggests code and entire functions in real time. And Copilot can guide you to create machine learning models to unlock insights in your data. Just by chatting with Copilot, you can visually explore your data to create stunning reports, discover insights, and summarize your data into easy-to-understand text narratives for sharing. With Copilot, you can turn insight into action with triggers that monitor your data and notify users. You can even create your own custom natural language experiences that combine Azure OpenAI models and your organization's data, and easily publish your creations as plugins. And with your data in Fabric, Copilot provides insights and answers everywhere work gets done. Most importantly, Microsoft Cloud runs on trust, which means your data always remains your data. Bring your data into the era of AI with Microsoft Fabric.
Hopefully that was really exciting. Now I'm going to transition to Patrick Baumgartner, who's going to go much deeper into Copilot and show you exactly what we're doing. Over to you, Patrick.
Thanks, Arun. Microsoft Fabric is built from the ground up to enable you to leverage next-generation AI with your data. This starts with Copilot being built into every Fabric experience to accelerate your productivity and help you unlock insights with your data. We're also enabling you to seamlessly tap into Azure OpenAI models to create AI plugins to deliver custom AI experiences on your data. Finally, Fabric delivers AI-powered insights that not only help you understand your business, but also help you bridge the gap between insights and action. Most importantly, the Microsoft Cloud runs on trust. Trust has been a fundamental promise built into the Microsoft Cloud since the very beginning. Data is the fuel that powers AI technology, and you need to trust what your technology partners are doing with your data. There are three fundamental promises we make with the Microsoft Cloud. First, your data is your data. It is not our data. That means it is yours to own and control. Second, your data is not used to train or enrich the foundational AI models used by others, only for your organization's benefit, for your data and your processes. Third, your data is protected at every step by the most comprehensive enterprise compliance and security controls in the industry. First, I want to share with you how we're integrating Copilot into every Fabric experience to help you accelerate your productivity. Because Copilot is integrated everywhere in Fabric, you have an intelligent assistant transforming how you work. Copilot will work alongside you from data integration to data engineering and data science, through to data warehousing, and all the way to your reporting and analytics solutions. With Copilot Accelerated Solutions, we can move away from product-specific tools that require niche expertise to focus on turning your ideas into reality. This lets us move from needing to master complex tools to working with a creative assistant, from being siloed in specific products to working in a cross-cutting experience, and from being focused on manually building artifacts to refining automatically generated content. Most importantly, with Copilot, you're always in control. You decide what to keep, modify, or discard. To see this in action, we're going to take a look at Copilot working in each Fabric experience. Let's start by taking a sneak peek at Copilot in Data Factory. With Copilot in Data Factory, you can effortlessly create complex pipelines using natural language. You can even use Copilot to get helpful suggestions for the next steps in preparing your data. To start, you'll notice that Copilot shows up on the landing page. And right away, I can give Copilot a description of the tasks I want to achieve. Let's ask Copilot to copy data from SQL to a container in blob storage. It smartly provides a list of connections, so I don't have to remember the exact name of the connection I want to use. Let's choose Contoso Sales SQL in the Finance Blob storage. I can also request Copilot to perform additional activities to help us build a metadata-driven pipeline, such as looking up the country name column from the country metadata table to obtain the source tables based on the listed countries. This command will immediately create activities on the canvas, including lookup for each and a well-parameterized copy activity. I could also regenerate the pipeline for an alternative one, allowing me to choose the best generated pipeline for my use case. To regenerate, let's click on the Regenerate button, and Copilot has regenerated the alternative pipeline with the same input that was passed earlier, giving me more options to work from. Additionally, Copilot gives me IntelliSense for connection selection and suggests the next steps. In this case, let's click on Run this pipeline. And within seconds, the pipeline has executed successfully. As you can see, Copilot creates a completely new paradigm for doing data prep and transformation. And not only that, we're also integrating new transformation steps to directly leverage models from Azure OpenAI within your data pipelines. Next, let's take a look at how Copilot is being integrated into data engineering workloads to see how with just natural language we can model and transform data. As a data scientist, I've been given the assignment to explore relevant data and identify trends that financial analysts can use to make better decisions. First, I'd like to explore the data so I can understand it. I'll start by opening up a notebook inside the Fabric Data Science homepage. Instead of starting from a blank canvas, let's use Copilot to get some suggestions on how to segment my data. Copilot helps me create a Pandas data frame query, pulling in relevant data about the company's sales history and profitability from 2022. The Python code looks great, so I have Copilot insert it into the notebook as a new cell, and I execute it. Immediately, I get a data frame with lots of historical sales information across multiple industries. It's a good start, but I want to explore the data further. To do this, I open up a new code cell. I can use Copilot right inside the cell to help me generate code. I'm going to type %% and use IPython magic commands powered by Azure OpenAI. I can ask to break out the data frame by industry and group similar industries together by category through natural language. And just like that, I receive data about the industries with the highest profit margins. Now I'd like to perform some k-nearest neighbors analysis on the data. I'm going to add another code cell. Let's add to the start of the code I want to write. And immediately you can see Copilot auto-completed the rest of the code. I can just hit Tab to accept it. But when I try to run it, you'll see I get an error. Not from the auto-completed Copilot code, but because I didn't import the mflow package. Fortunately, I can just click Fix with Copilot, and Copilot will update my code and correctly import mflow at the top of the cell. And now when I execute, I see my data visualized. As you've seen, Copilot in Notebooks helps boost the productivity and upskill data engineers and data scientists. And more than just helping users write code faster, Copilot can help users understand how code is working and even work with users to understand how best to analyze their data. Now, let's take a look at some of the ways Copilot is being integrated into Synapse data warehousing. I'm going to start with a new query editor to explore my sales data. To get started, I click the Copilot button on the top ribbon. I can now simply ask a quick question to Copilot. Show me my top customers by sales over the last 24 months. Copilot analyzes my question and outputs a SQL query which shows me the query I need to get the answer I'm looking for. Let's have Copilot insert the query into the editor and run it. And just like that, I have my query and the data result. But we can go way further. Now I'd like to share this answer with my colleagues, but add to it. I want to show my top 10 customers in any given month. So let's ask Copilot, help me turn the last query into a table value function where I can parameterize the time frame by month, but for my top 10 customers, and then run the function. Not only does Copilot know to start from the previous query, but it'll also change it to meet my new needs. For me personally, whose SQL is a little rusty, this lets me get started working with data much more quickly and for much more advanced queries. Here, Copilot updated the SQL, wrapped it in a table-valued function, parameterized it, and created the script to execute it. I just click on Insert, and all I need to do is execute the script to see the results. Again, we've seen how Copilot helps users work faster and smarter. Even more exciting, I'm happy to share that we're also adding capabilities to accelerate data warehousing migrations using Copilot, which will be an incredible way to accelerate modernization of your data platform. We're also bringing Copilot into Data Activator so you can monitor and drive action as your data changes using Copilot. Let's take a look. Here I am in Data Activator. I have data here streaming in from Event Hub, and I can see the events arrive in real time. The data is about packages that we're monitoring. I can see shippers, recipients, how long they've been in transit, and things like temperature and humidity. Let's use Copilot to set up a trigger that sends an email whenever the package temperature crosses above 105 degrees. Take it as an average over the course of the last hour. Just by describing this in natural language, Copilot creates the object with all the steps needed in Data Activator. I can see it sending an email, review that it has the temperature correct, and that it's doing an average over an hour. And I can validate it with the test. So let's switch over and see that it's generated the email correctly, which it has. And now I can go back and start the trigger, so it's going to be monitoring data in the background. This is a great example of a case where setting up a rule is easy in natural language with Copilot, but doing so manually is very challenging. With Data Activator, you can connect insights as they happen with systems of action, and Copilot makes setting up these triggers as easy as describing rules in natural language. Next, I want to talk about how we're bringing the power of next-generation AI directly to your data. Microsoft Fabric provides easy built-in access to leading AI models to enhance your data and applications. Just by bringing your data into OneLake, you're set up to start using generative AI with your data. To give you an idea of how this works, let's take a look at some upcoming capabilities to create AI plugins in Fabric for your data. Here I am in a Fabric workspace where I want to show you how I can easily create an AI plugin for my data. Let's say I want to make it easy for my colleagues on the sales team to ask questions about our sales data. To do this, I'm going to create a new AI plugin using our sales warehouse data. I provide a name and I'm on my way. I have a few options for the type of plugin I want to create to help me get started quickly. Let's pick the first option, to answer natural language questions about my data. Immediately, I'm dropped into a preview mode where I can start asking questions about the data in the sales warehouse. I can ask a question in natural language, and through the power of generative AI, a SQL query is generated for me behind the scenes that answers my question. Fabric automatically provides the AI model with the context it needs, such as the schema, so it can generate effective responses. I want to make some changes to the base functionality, so let's configure the plugin. Here I'm shown an overview of how the plugin is put together. Adding or removing specific tables from the plugin is as easy as selecting a checkbox, and I can configure each component of the plugin as well. For instance, here I can adjust the prompting that gets sent to the model alongside the internal meta prompts. I can also get a preview of the response from the large language model, which is useful for debugging. It is easy to publish the plugin in many formats. I want my sales team to be able to access this data in Teams through Microsoft 365 Business Chat, so I'll select the M365 Copilot option. There's a few more steps to configure from the Business Chat side, but I'm going to just jump ahead and start a conversation with my Copilot in Teams. Here I can ask my question, and now Copilot can get answers directly from the sales warehouse. And if I switch back to my Fabric workspace, we can see the lineage view for the plugin. And not only that, the plugin is seamlessly integrated with my other data artifacts in Fabric. This includes sensitivity labels being automatically inherited, as well as data access and security, including row-level security being built in. AI plugins, such as the example of enabling Q&A for your data, will let you deliver unique value and experiences for your data. As you can see, we're working to make creating AI plugins simple through low-code experiences built into Fabric. We're also working to make it easy to create AI experiences for all your data in Azure. We're excited to announce vector index support for Cosmos DB for MongoDB, Cosmos DB for Postgres, and for Azure Postgres Flexible Server. Vector indexing is foundational for enabling Copilot and large language models to retrieve relevant data from your databases efficiently, so it can reason over it. Now this capability is built in. Further, we're also excited to announce an Azure OpenAI plugin for Cosmos DB and for Azure Postgres. This enables AI models to access your data using vectors, making it much easier to create AI plugins. Finally, there is one last new capability I want to share with you, and that's how we're integrating next-generation AI to help you discover insights in Power BI. Power BI's journey with large language models actually started last year when we released capabilities to generate DAX calculations from natural language. Suggestions for DAX enables analysts to create calculations, such as rolling averages, just by describing what they're looking for in natural language. It's a huge help in tapping into the incredibly powerful DAX language in Power BI. But this was just the beginning, and now we have a ton of exciting new Copilot features in Power BI that I'm excited to share with you. Let's take a look.
Introducing the next generation of AI in Microsoft Power BI. Copilot in Power BI empowers your people to unlock the full potential of your data and move from data to insights faster. Now, with Copilot in Power BI, you can use natural language to bring your data to life. Simply describe the visuals and insights you're looking for, and next generation AI will create your report and help you refine it. You can then dig into this data further by asking a question, and Copilot will find the best answer. Not only does Copilot help you visualize your data, but it taps into Power BI's advanced analysis capabilities to help you find key influencers and outliers and create forecasts. Copilot can summarize your data into easy-to-understand text narratives that help others quickly get important and relevant insights. And for analysts who are creating calculations and modeling data, you can simply describe what you want, and the code is automatically generated. With Copilot in Power BI, turning data into impact has never been easier.
As you can see, Copilot in Power BI transforms how you work with data to find insights. It lets you focus on the analysis needed by your business and not on needing to become an expert in calculation languages or report design. Let's take a look at some demos of Copilot in Power BI, starting with improvements on how you can create calculations using natural language. Power BI is enhancing its Copilot capabilities for authoring calculations in DAX. Let's say I wanted to create a calculation for profit margin in my model. Now, just by adding a comment, the new DAX Copilot understands both my model schema and common business definitions to correctly create the calculation. Once calculations are created, users can then quickly and easily add them inside their Power BI reports. The Copilot works both for basic measures like profit margin, but also complex ones like rolling averages or adding filters based on records in my database. And because of the amazing generative capabilities of Azure OpenAI, I can even do things like authoring comments in German, and the Copilot does not miss a beat generating DAX calculations based on my requests. Creating calculations in the context of a company-specific business model is a huge productivity boost for analysts, and will help more users ramp up on the incredibly powerful DAX language. Finally, let's look at how Copilot can work with you to create reports from scratch, find insights, and answer questions about your data. Let's say, for example, I'm an HR analyst who is constantly handling requests from my management to do analysis and provide answers. It can take hours and even days to respond with new reports. Now, with Copilot and Power BI, I can simply describe the report I want to build and get insights in seconds. Maybe we need to break down some of our employee data to understand demographics and hiring trends. I just describe what I need, and Copilot will automatically analyze my data and create a new report based on my needs. Immediately, I have a beautiful Power BI report that is fully interactive, and I can start slicing and dicing my data to explore deeper. Copilot added the charts and slicers I asked for, but also conveniently gives me options to adjust the output to get just what I'm looking for. For example, let's switch to ask for metrics and trends in a slightly different layout. Automatically, Copilot updates the report. Let's go ahead and keep this report page. But it goes much further. I can also ask analysis questions, such as why is our attrition rate going up? Copilot responds by adding a new page to my report and uses Power BI's built-in advanced analysis capabilities for finding key influencers for variables in my data. In addition to giving me a summary of an insight about different employee types having different attrition rates, I can easily explore Power BI's key influencer visual to see what's driving the biggest impact to our attrition rate. I can even automatically see the most significant segments in my data just by clicking. Now let's go back to the first page and finish up our new report. I'm going to ask Copilot to make it look like our existing exec dashboard, and instantly it's applied the same formatting and style and adjusted the layout to match. Best of all, I can still interact directly with the Power BI report Copilot has created. So for example, if I wanted to manually change this bar chart to a tree map on my own, it's easy to do so with just a few clicks. Let's add employee functional area, and now I can filter by the new field. Finally, to make the report even easier for my team to understand, I'm going to ask Copilot to add a rich text description of my data right inside the report. This narrative summary is fully dynamic, and not only does Copilot highlight interesting insights from my data, but it provides citations from where in the report the data was taken. This summary will update every time the data is refreshed or people filter the report with new insights based on the data. And just like that, in seconds, I've created a report that would have taken hours or days to do manually. We're incredibly excited about the future of data and analytics. With the announcements of Microsoft Fabric and the new Copilot experiences in Fabric that we shared today, we're transforming how everyone gets insight from data. I hope you'll take the time to get started with Microsoft Fabric, and you can also try out the public preview of using Copilot to create DAX and Power BI. And if you're interested, you can sign up for the private preview of Copilot in Microsoft Fabric. Thank you.